GetReportHelp.com presents a video to make your job easier. Watch, use, and share this information. You're not alone. And yes, you do need help.
Now, one of the things that I think business intelligence loses in terms of its focus is, what is it that you're trying to present? Now, I'm not just talking about your own data, but I'm talking when you're specifically working with management. So one thing that I would say is that your job is to make a recommendation. When you're presenting to management, you make a recommendation. Generally, you want to have 3 different options for them to look at. So you'll have some pros and there's some cons of each of those recommendations. But you have one of those that you would prefer, one of those that you lean on, because you want to be able to look at the data, look at the information, make a good assessment of the situation, and put that recommendation forward to them. Now, management's job is to take that recommendation and put it into the context of the business. So a simple example of this is, you may say, we need this new server farm or something like that. Now, you may say we need a new server farm, but how are you going to present that to management? Well, the way you want to present that is you want to give them 3 options. Option 1 may be something like pushing the stuff to the cloud. So have that outsourced and pushed to the cloud through another network and have them store it. Or you may have a server farm. Or you may come up with a 3rd option and talk about archival or something like that. So you want to give management 3 options so they can look at those, list the pros and cons of each of those, and at the end of it, you want to give your recommendation that I think a server farm is probably our best option given blah blah blah, and you talk about the pros, the cons, and the the value add and that kind of stuff. The reason why I'm suggesting that you look at it this way is because from the management perspective, just giving them a pile of information doesn't help them very much, because they need to know why they care about it. So what's the problem? And then they really are looking to you to provide the solution. So you want to give them a fair thing, but you also want to give them your recommendation. So say manager looks at that and says, okay, they're suggesting a server farm because the long-term costs are better that way. We have more control over the environment. Memory's cheap. Whatever it is, right? Now, they may come to that and say, okay, that's their recommendation, but as a manager, I know where we are on our budget, I know where we are in our timelines of other projects, and so they'll put it in the context of the overall structure, and so that's where they can make that decision and where you are helping them by putting forth your recommendation. So, something for you guys to think about in terms of how you present to management. Remember that it's always a good idea to give them a recommendation, give them several options, and then let them put it into the context of the business, into the larger scope of the business.